Gemini, hi, welcome back to the channel. It's Chrissy Sawyer here. Okay, so we're going to do a reading kind of for the end of July, but I'm cautioning everybody this is feeling like legacy energy, like at least the next 6 months. And it's going to be centered around the alignment of the inner masculine and feminine, and what's going to get birthed, what changes have got to be made, where the sparks of light and shade are. And as usual, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And if when you listen to this reading, you start seeing it playing out in a real-time relationship, great. Apply that and take what's useful. I tend to read primarily for the inner journey, but sometimes it reaches out to the physical. So I'm going to do a 17 card reading, which will start with the feminine. Okay, sorry, just distracted there. Which will start with the feminine column and the masculine column, and then bridging energies in the middle and across the lines, rows, current energy. What archetypes are they harnessing at the moment? What light do they want to shine on those archetypes? What are they willing to change, and what do they want to achieve? And then we'll wrap it up with an abundance card. Alrighty, Gemini, let's have a look. Let us have a look. Ooh. Right. You might be in some challenging energy at the moment. Even the bridge is challenging, but let me bring this through and see what lands. All right, feminine, current energy. Finding your center. Learning to breathe. The solitude of aloneness. Getting comfortable with that. There's a getting readiness here, preparingness. It's actually feeling like the end of winter, getting ready for spring. It feels like that kind of energy. The dormancy, but everything that goes on in the soil that we can't see, all the rotting down, all the composting, all the nutrients, all the feeding of the soils to facilitate the new seeds being able to crack their own back open and grow. Feels beautiful. Excuse me while I just harvest some of this gorgeous energy. It feels beautiful. I have no concerns with that. 2911 too is the intuition, and I mean, you know, connecting to our divine source by sitting still and shutting the fudge up. Beautiful. And the masculine energy. Divine discontentment is what I get here. His ego is being challenged. So this is the egoic manifestation of stuff that makes him look good. It feels quite Leonian in the old stereotype of Leo as being, you know, that vain, proud, arrogant lion. And he might be coming into the realization that all that glitters is not gold, hasn't actually fed his soul, hasn't actually connected him to source, but has merely put money in his bank or not, But the ego is being challenged here. I've just seen this. And it's being challenged by, there's a real hesitancy here. Do I connect to my divinity? Do I connect to my higher self? So yeah, this is challenging. This is challenging energy, and it is the breakdown of what doesn't serve. This might just be about patriarchal manifestation, you know, the job, the house, the car, the glamorous wife, and I know and this is masculine, so. So, gotta bring this in as well. This is getting ready for the giving over of the solar plexus to divine will. I applaud you, Gemini masculine. That's going to take some balls. The bridging energy. We've got 1,000 planets in retrograde at the moment, so there's time to think and there's time to pause. All right, she's in her pause. There's time to think and there's time to pause. What I get with this actually is 108 mathematics, and the Nautilus shell grows times 108, so it grows at 108% of the last cavity. So we're talking about steady growth here. 108 completes to the 9, which is higher consciousness. It's God energy, void energy, divine source, call it what you will. Okay, I think the message here is to avoid frustration of getting there quickly, to avoid the frustration of the big win, and know that every time you break through, you're growing this Nautilus shell at just the right amount for steady breakthrough, steady expansion, moving into that higher expression, divine will over my will. So the cards will tell me or guide me, but it looks like she's holding space for him to move through this, out of his egoic expression into his divinity, to align with the feminine. All right. So what archetype does the feminine want to harness? Yeah, baby. Okay. Climb that mountain. So the disabled self might see a long journey in front of them. Maybe they want to build something. And the body's going to react in some kind of way, and the mind is going to react in some kind of way to that. And if the spirit is depleted, that might seem like an uphill struggle that's easier to avoid. But when you bring in the archetype of the hero, what that screams loud to me is tenacity and a refusal to give up, the indomitable will. I want to put spiritual in brackets in the middle of that, indomitable spiritual will to get to the top of that mountain without any sense of escapism or fake heroism. Check me out. Just so yeah, she's harnessing heroine, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all becoming androgynous at the moment, and Gemini is might be the key to androgyny. So yeah, reawakening passion and the inner hero. All right. Oh, good Lord. Oh, wow. Ooh, wow, this energy is, this card is bringing in such an expansive energy, and it's like right on the roof of my palette, the hard bit right at the back on the top. It's like there's a chakra there that's just opened up, and it's huge, and it feels a bit dizzy making. So he's harnessing spirit. Let me caveat the rest of this reading in case I pull in the drones that want to talk to me about religion, that need me to belong to their cult. I am not a religious woman. Okay, done that, tried that, done the philosophy of it, yada yada, understood it. Let's just call this the cosmos, the divine, the void. Okay. Shiva, the unmade, the unmanifest. So, wow, getting higher. Just pulling that light in to steady myself. So this is talking about, he wants to harness the energy of benevolence and compassion, recognize the eternal force within himself, and ultimately then within others, because that will become his outgoing broadcast. And obviously the shadow aspect of this God archetype is despotism and cruelty, using power to control others. And he might have been using his shiny Ferrari to, you know, impress, and that's the way that one of the ways that human beings manipulate, subliminally manipulate, by the personality will project what the ego wants to be seen, and behind that projection, behind the mask, exists the true, raw, authentic self. And it's all coming out now. It's like the washing is coming out. Oh, good Lord. Gemini, what are you doing? You're bridging energy, for goodness sake. Brace yourselves. So you've got three archetypes: hero, heroine, god, and goddess. I don't know what this is going to ask of you, but I know that right now there is a void opening up in my solar plexus. It's a nothing energy. The only reason I know it's there is because I can feel the solar plexus is opening and responding at the edges. Goddess, the feminine. Let's say God, the sacred masculine. Goddess, the sacred feminine, is going to be the bridge to harnessing the archetypes of hero, heroine. This is alignment at such a high level. Nature, life force, sexuality, kundalini, passion, joy. Oof, D. Okay. Do the work within. Do the work within before reaching out for it. Okay. There's a message here, gems, that sometimes when we get to the mountain, remember, in the metaphysical, whatever is your outgoing broadcast is going to pull that towards you, right? If you're in doubt and fear, it's going to pull that into your field. Why? Because you're the architect, you make the world. Or you make the way you see and perceive the world. And when you get to that, you might be getting into the round and around energy. You want it quicker, you want it to appear. You might want that so much that something appears that actually is out of alignment with this archetypal goal, which is to get up to priest. We're talking high priestess, hierophant energy. This is really high level of channeling. Don't be distracted by what comes into your field, right? Or know that you are being distracted until you've made whatever this is within this holiness. God, it is beautiful. So beautiful. They're showing me a lotus flower on a really mucky pond. It's okay, so back to the feminine. And what light does she want to shine on this heroism card? She wants to learn to hold the void. For fuck's sake. Wow, this is leveling up. This is leveling up. Gemini Divine Feminine is leveling up and learning to hold absence. The void is the unmanifest. It is the potential of all probability. Leveling up. So she wants to concentrate her focus through her breath, through sitting still, and getting aligned into connecting with the void. This is not meager work. I applaud you, Geminis. You are bringing it. Gemini, yeah. Sorry, it's a little distracting thought there. Feeling quite mercurial today, I've got to say. It must be because I'm in Gemini energy, but my mind's going all over the place. So the masculine wants to shine a light on his God archetype by being playful and childlike. This is like the return to innocence from the corruption of gold. And I know as an element, gold is incorruptible for the effect of the glittery world, the glamorous world. Glamour is illusion, so romance is illusion. Radical curiosity, just watch the way a child plays. A child young enough to have not been tainted by adult shit. They play with such curiosity, seeing as if for the first time, every time. Round and around. Seeing as if for the first time, every time. Might seem repetitious, but it's not. It's something new. It's a new space. So he wants to get playful and lose the sense of importance and meaningfulness and purposefulness and all that heavy bullshit that got put on playtime. This is passionate playtime. He wants to play. Wants to break down his ego, move into God consciousness and play. All right then. I'll take you a couple of days. Let's look at the bridging energy for the light that wants to be shone onto the goddess. Archetype. Wow. I think it's the third time this card's been out. Trust. So this can be the curiosity of opposites is what I'm getting, and the critical inquiry that's going to be needed to discern where you are connected to source, where you are connected to ego, mind, where you are connected to your body. Because again, we had that message earlier about watch out for distractions. The only thing to trust in the world, the only thing you have absolute control over is you. Gain control over that, gain mastery over the selves, emotional self, mind self, physical self, energetic self, divine self. gain mastery over that. That's all you have to trust. And you get into that knowingness without maybe the Gemini bounce, staying in the center of that breath. Beautiful. So, what is the feminine? Oh, that's interesting. Willing to change. What is the feminine willing to change? Bear with me. It's like starting a new book. This is the completion. It's heavy as well. It's really heavy. It's heavy all down my left-hand side. I feel quite weary in this energy. So does she want to change the way that she manifests in the world? Yeah, what I'm being shown is pulling down so much light into matter that now it becomes a volatility in the truest sense of the word, and you have energized matter to play with. Ergo, masculine energy, active energy. And the masculine is willing to change how he consciously connects. Okay, so this is unconscious connection to glittery stuff that makes him look good in the world, or stuff that doesn't get him judged or put in a box, or actually put in a box. A conscious connection is a connection made at heart level, at soul level. It doesn't even need words. It barely needs eye contact. It's a presencing field of connectedness. And if he's coming into this, if this is what he's willing to change, the way that he connects to self and others, and I am convinced that he does, he wants to connect to his higher self, that's going to change how she manifests in the world, because if he's consciously connecting to the feminine, then he's going to step his game up, and she won't have to, story's changing. She won't have to be such a hero, heroine, will she? She can let go a little bit. There's a question here about reciprocity within the hemispheres of the body. See what the bridging energy is for these two? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Bringing it into form, and maybe in a radically different way, because we've got radical playtime coming in here. In a radically different way. Can't keep creating in the old patriarchy. It's gone. Bringing it into form. Look at this geometry in water. The emotional self with heart. But heart freed from that heavy 18-9 karmic completion. Bringing the light in. I don't know what you're building here, but it's really open. It feels very open. All right, let's finish up now with gorgeous. What the feminine wants to achieve. Is elevation. So Uranus governs Aquarius. This is an Aquarian card. Mercury governs Gemini, and Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. Mercury is the lower mind. Uranus is the higher mind. She wants to elevate. Elevate. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at what he's healing. Traditionally, I've seen this card in so many readings, collective readings. And it seems in the collective, we are rewiring our attachment to money, to physical wealth. And we are rewiring our relationship to comparison. Compete, compare is an old paradigm, patriarchal paradigm. You can't live poor and be worthy in society. You're deemed a failure. When actually, when I was doing all that work with the military, I would literally, in the old days where I used to go out walking a lot, I would stop and sit down on the pavement with homeless people, homeless guys mainly, and I'd just shut up and listen, and the stories that they tell. My God, these guys are thousands of years old, and there's no outlet for their gnosis. They are so fucking wise. Okay, so they've let go. They've let go of how they're seen in the material world. They're rich within, poor without. So 5 of Pentacles is left out energy, shut out in the cold energy. It's driven by the egoic compete, compare. And what if there's more to this? So what he wants to achieve in connecting with this higher source, harnessing the archetype of God, bringing in radical curiosity, making conscious connection, is he's just going to go within. He's going to go within and do the work, let go of this BS. Absolutely beautiful. That's powerful work. It's a big one, that is. Big, big paradigm driven by corporations. Oh. Oh, there's some emotion coming through with this card. It's all heart-centered. Wow. 3 of Pentacles is about collaboration. It's about working with the collective. This is a big giving over of egoic will. Big giving over. Because it takes real strength to work in a collective, to celebrate difference, to harness different skills and strengths, to maybe, be led or sometimes to lead. It's a very adult relationship to work in a collective, but he wants to use the bridge of the 3 blueprint. Okay. Mind, body, spirit. Beautiful. Amazing. Okay. Yeah, you're in a big stepping up your game. And again, apply it how it fits. Let's have an abundance card, please, for Gemini to wrap this reading up. Yeah, baby. I think Chiron goes retrograde this week. I don't know what sign it's going retrograde in. That's healing. It's beautiful healing. Chiron is the wounded healer, or brings in the energy of healing. Let's not get too attached to archetypes. During crises, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachments. Attachment to the physical. Preparing you to receive her luminous plan. Well, I would say that's a perfect card. We've got God and Goddess on the table. We've got hero and heroine. Look at the balance. Yeah, go within. There's healing to be had here. There's real healing to be had, and it might be that as an embodied soul, what I mean by that is if we just move with the inner journey, it might be that you sit and ask yourself some questions about your physicality. It might be that you sit and ask yourself some questions about what wealth means to you, about vanity and ego and how others see you, and how would you handle big change in the physical. And I'm not saying because it's going to be bad, I'm saying move yourself through that energy, and it might be an energy of dread. You know, we've got all that glitters, which is quite an egoic card, on the table. So yeah, ask yourself and just gently trigger the body, because there's healing on the table. We have energetic clearing on the table. So take yourself into Sweat Lodge, do some work if that's your thing, or give me a shout if you need a facilitator. But yeah, big shift for Gemini, no doubt about it. Gods and goddesses, bring your majesty, the world needs it. Right, take care. I will see you whenever. Lots of love.